From the biggest moments
Can you believe it?
to gold medal championships,
Sidney Crosby, the golden goal!
it's your update on Canada's game. You're listening to the True North Ice podcast with Jacob Ewing and Caleb Schneider.
Welcome back to the True North Ice podcast, where we talk everything and all things, I butchered that, about Hockey Canada and Canadian hockey related. And today we are back to talk about the silver medal or gold medal loss, pretty much, of the women's national team in the double IIHF World Championships. Pretty depressing, Jake.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the result we were looking for. We knew we'd have a tough game, the championship game against the U.S. And sorry, and yeah, it is what it is. We'll get into it a bit later about the logistics of the game and stuff like that. But definitely not the result we wanted.
No, of course not. Yeah, given the situations that we're both in, one of us is a little sick, I'm a little time crunched. We're going to kind of skip over the Japan and Finland game. What was it, 9-1 and then 8-1? Japan only had like 6 shots on net. Is there really is there really any thoughts you have on that before we quickly go over the U.S. game? Also, we will talk a little bit about the U18s at the end. That starts up on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So.
No, not really. They were both good games, obviously. We just walked all over them, even in everything. Well, obviously in the scoring and the shots department. But there's really not much to go over for those games. Just basic domination, which we expected. So,
I believe we should mention. I believe Marie-Philippe Poulin broke the record for most points overall in a career in the World Championships for Canada. I believe it's all time too. I'd assume she passed Haley Wickenheiser. I believe that was in the Finland game. I mean, not really else. I guess for the Japan game we saw Kristen Campbell and then Debien for the Japan-USA game, Debien for the Finland and then the USA game back-to-back, which, I mean, we kind of expected. There's really not much to pick about in the Japan and Finland game. It's hard to talk about a game where Canada wins 9-1 and the opposing team has 6 shots on net, and then Finland, of course, 8-1. It's really hard to talk about those games.
Yeah.
Especially given how we ended in the USA game, right?
Yep.
So do you want to just jump over to the USA game?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay.
It was a game that took a while to get into. It was a 0-0 first period.
Yeah, first period was pretty boring. There were some chances for both teams, but really nothing there.
Yeah. And then after that, when we get into the second, is when stuff really started getting ramped up after the goal from Caroline Harvey opened the scoring, and then it was just a bloodbath of goals. 4 straight in like 3 minutes.
It was something. I mean, the Abby Murphy goal was that was rough. Was it Abby Murphy? Was that the second goal?
I'm pretty sure.
They threw it from the blue line on net, and Debien couldn't pick it up, and then she just came out of nowhere. Yeah, that was kind of ugly, I will say. I'm really surprised that we bounced back within less than a minute, scoring that next goal, and then
that was huge.
And then another minute later, we scored the game-tying goal by Jen Gardner. Really, I mean, Jen Gardner, wow, really came out to play this tournament. First World Championships, I believe, for her as well. And 6 goals all tournament? Good
Something like that, yeah.
6 goals, 8 games.
Yeah.
Good for her, came out to play. Danielle Serdachny, she also came out to play. I think she had 3 goals. We're going to get into both those players later, I would assume, about the OT, which was a very, very interesting call by the head coach, Troy Ryan? Troy Ryan. But it's 2-2 heading into the third period, and boy, oh boy, we were lined up for some pretty interesting hockey, I'd say. We also saw. When was that goalie Laura Stacey
Oh,
goalie
yes.
collision. You want to get into that? I believe that was the end of the second.
Sure, yeah. That
No,
I
it
don't
was
know
the
if I had
third period before the third
just
goal,
third.
but
Okay.
but that resulted into a power play goal for
Yeah. Just
US.
uh just like a terrible play. The goalie comes out of our net to challenge the puck, which is fine. If you leave your crease, then like you're open to anything, right? And obviously you're not if you get like purposely smoked, then that could be a penalty. Not I don't think it shouldn't be a penalty for goaltender interference though. You're out of your crease. There's
Yeah.
nothing to interfere. You're just a player now at that point.
Hmm.
And I forget who it was. This is Laura Stacey, correct?
I believe
She
so. Yeah.
is just going for the puck, and so is the goalie. They're both literally going for
Yeah.
the puck,
They're
and they just
both.
run into each other. That is not a penalty. That is just as much as if you're going to call a penalty, it's just as much as a penalty on the goalie than it is
Yeah.
literally Laura Stacey.
It's
There's
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It was. I wasn't able to watch it live. I only got to watch the overtime, really, unfortunately. But man, oh man, when I found that replay, that's brutal, and
Really.
like there should be no call at all, and if there's a
No.
call for one, you should probably be calling for the other, like the goalie. There should be no penalties or penalties for both players.
Exactly.
Really, but the thing is, even when that happens, that's also very controversial because Laura Stacey really couldn't do anything. She went for the puck,
Oh.
and of course she's going to hit the massive target with the goalie with wearing all their equipment, right?
Right, yeah, of course of course she's gonna hit the goalie because the
Yeah.
goalie's literally skating into
Yeah,
her. There's
it's-
nowhere she can go. She
They're going to
picked
go
her
right into
line,
Max, yeah.
right? She picked her line. She was skating right towards the puck, and the goalie just decided to like. I get what the goalie is trying to do, but she literally just placed herself right in the line of sight of like. There's
Yeah.
nothing Stacey can do about that. It's a ridiculous call, and
Mhm.
obviously then Taylor Heidi
Yeah.
scored, so it is what it is. But if that
And
would have been
then-
the game-winning goal, that would have
yeah.
been, geez, man, I don't know what I would have done.
And then Jake, you were saying during the intermission, one of the TSN analysts we were saying that it could have been a 5-minute misconduct as well.
Yeah, there is this one of the analysts. I've never seen her before, but she was pretty good. She played for Team USA a little bit ago, and she was basically saying that she could have should have got a misconduct, maybe.
Interesting.
Like she brought up the fact that this could be a game misconduct, and I just thought that was ridiculous. I saw a couple of tweets
Yeah.
on Twitter too, saying like, "Oh, this is like what she just said is a joke. That is not a misconduct one bit."
No, that is crazy.
Right?
Like
I think
I don't know the rules, the rule book. Common sense, first of all, says that it shouldn't be a penalty for either player. Sure, there might be a whistle because the player is injured, but the goalie seemed injured at the time, and
she was.
Yeah.
She ended up leaving the game.
Yeah, she did.
yes.
but really, it was the goalie's fault. Like, really, why would you come out all the way out that far when the puck was just going to go into the corner anyways, right?
Yeah. And so the official call was charging. And I guess it was because maybe I didn't see it as that, but I guess the refs called it in a way that Stacey kind of because the goalie was kind of down a little bit and then Stacey like kind of
Yeah.
lowered her body maybe. But still, I don't know. I just think that's a joke.
Mhm.
Like I don't know. It is what it is. But
Yeah, I don't know. It's brutal, but yeah. And then USA, they score on the power play on that penalty, and then we actually we come back at 10 minutes later, I guess. Sarah Fillier with the tying goal, make it 3-3.
And there was another penalty in between that 10 minutes that
Yeah.
I also thought was a joke.
Renata
was-
Fasts.
Yes, for
penalty?
cross-checking.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it was Abby Murphy who just
Right.
flopped like a fish in the corner. Like, oh gosh, and the analysts were even saying like, yeah, now like watching this in slow mo, this is definitely a bit of an embellishment. Yeah, no crap, it is an embellishment. Like, it easily was, and of course the refs call her for cross-checking, even though it was a light little tap and Murphy goes flying across the ice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the officiating was very questionable in this game, especially near the tail end. It's fortunate for Canada, the U.S. did not score on that power play, or else that could have been the dagger.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 3-3, and now we're heading into overtime. What I predicted, I will say that. Yeah, we're heading into overtime, and I'm astonished that this was a 3-on-3 overtime too. I didn't know that it was a 3-on-3 overtime for a gold medal game.
For 20 minutes though, like it was
20
it was
minutes,
still,
which is
yeah.
The ice is too big for.
I don't mind it, to be honest. I kind of liked it.
You like the 3-on-3?
Super fast pace. Like obviously, I would have rather 5-on-5, but like
I
didn't
feel like
mind
they
it.
just didn't. I feel like they didn't know how to play 3-on-3. That's what it felt like. They're taking shots from the blue line and the hash marks, and
Yeah.
there was nothing. There's barely any chances up tight, and if there was, it was like a 2-on-1 where the offensive player is trying to break a defender.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
I like when watching this, I felt like the ice is too big, and no, I'm not trying to make this seem wrong or anything, but the women are slower than the men, which means that there's a lot more time where this puck is in the neutral zone or out in the corners, and I just think the puck wasn't moving fast enough for it to be as entertaining for a 3-on-3.
I don't know. I think it was still pretty fast paced, and like it made for good hockey. Like obviously, you have so much ice, you have to be quick on the line changes. But something I didn't really like from Canada's game is they just kind of like, oh, we all know 3-on-3 is a big possession game. You have to be like, you're really like, if you could keep possession for the whole time if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You just literally just
Yeah.
cycle it around.
But I feel
and
like
then you
they
go
didn't.
for the big.
They
No,
didn't though,
They,
which I
no,
think
they
is
didn't. No,
why
that's what
they
I'm trying to
didn't
say.
really they didn't seem like they really knew how to play 3-on-3.
And you know what? That's okay. You're kind of
That is
thrown into
fine.
the situation.
It should have been 5-on-5.
Absolutely.
It should have
Absolutely,
been
it should have
5-on-5.
been. Yeah.
Which is
agree.
ridiculous, but anyways, worst giveaway I've ever seen in my life in a gold medal overtime game.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. Definitely up there.
Mm-hmm.
Really tough. You could blame both of the people who are involved in that.
Jocelyn,
I think it was Phil.
LaRock. Jocelyn
And Sarah
LaRock
Phil, yeah.
with it, yeah. That, oof, wow. I don't even know what to say. That is brutal. And both teams were changing players too, so really there was only 2 players on the ice for each team. But
Yeah.
Tessa Janicki, she's on the forecheck and doesn't even really force. She was kind of
I
just
wouldn't call it
there,
force.
maybe
Yeah.
scared Jocelyn LaRock, and she just fired it into the middle of nowhere. And then Taylor Heisey, she picks up the giveaway, passes it right out front to Tessa Janicki, and basically tucks it home. There's no chance for Deadbant in that situation.
No.
It was a ugly, like that's brutal. And I saw Jocelyn LaRock's up there in age. That's a really tough way to go out if that's her last tournament internationally.
Yeah. I don't know. Like obviously she is old,
Like,
but I don't think
she's
she
old.
didn't, I don't think she had a terrible tournament overall.
No,
It
she
was
was
just-
okay, but she's getting up there in age, right? Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not sure who is all down in the pipeline coming up next, but it's a bad look. And also looking at the deployment numbers in overtime, you didn't see Jen Gardner out there at all, and you didn't see Serdachny.
Which is weird.
You didn't see Serdachny,
Yeah.
who scored last
Well,
year's gold medal,
it's true.
golden goal. And Serdachny also scored. They both scored earlier in the game, which is crazy. We just didn't see
Yeah,
either
I
of
mean,
them.
Serdachny's been like her and Julia Goss like have been the 13th forward this whole tournament.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could use her, but like a lot of the minutes went to the head. Like obviously, Poulin, Laura Stacey played a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
Just the people like I don't know, Fillier, Nurse, Daryl Watts played a good amount of minutes in OT too.
Mm-hmm.
Just people who can put the puck in the net. Not obviously, we all know Jennifer Gardner can, but you have to think how many of those goals are because she played on the top line with
That's right.
Stacey and Poulin.
Yeah.
So.
Mhm. Yeah, very. I don't know. It's just interesting to point out.
Yeah, and then also, it was Renata Fast played the most minutes in overtime,
Yeah.
6:30. I felt like she was literally double shifting half the time.
Yeah.
I swear she was out there.
Well, yeah, Aaron Ambrose and Claire Thompson out there they didn't look great. They didn't really look
No.
great at all the entire
And-
game.
Yeah, and Renata Fast is so quick.
Yeah.
She's so fast, you could say.
Yeah, she's like on a 3-on-3. You would think that she would be one of the top players out there, just given her play style,
Yeah.
right?
And she was.
Yeah. So I mean, and I believe she got player of the game as well, which
I think she did. Yep.
There
I think she did. Yeah.
But really, that's. I mean, we'd go much more in depth given if we weren't sick or crunched in time. But really, I mean, that's really all we can say about this USA game, right?
Yeah,
we
I mean, we
say-
even outshot them. Like,
yeah,
we
we did.
outshot
Oh,
them
big time.
47,
Like 15,
32, 3?
I think they only had 30 shots.
Yeah, I know we had 47. I think
Yeah.
they were just hovering around 30.
Yeah, it was something.
Yeah,
that-
and then you also have to gotta give big shout outs to Gwyneth Phillips, who is the goaltender for the U.S. who
Yeah.
came in. Just gotta give her a shout out because she was really good, especially coming in really cold in
Yeah.
a big game like this, and she still she played really well.
Mhm.
And so I gotta give her a shout out, even though she kind of destroyed our hopes and dreams. But good on her to come in and play. She played really good because I was thinking, oh yes, we knew goalie coming in. This is going to really benefit us. She's cold. Obviously, she's not the number one. And, well, Frankel's been all over us all game. She played really good as well.
Yeah.
So, goaltending change, you think it would benefit us at least a little bit.
Yeah.
She played really well, though.
Mm-hmm. No, and also shout out to the crowd as well. It was packed once
Yeah.
again. Packed pretty much the entire 2 weeks.
They broke a record, I'm pretty sure.
They broke some sort of record. I can't remember, but it was packed pretty much every game. Sure, like for the Group A side at least, almost every game was packed. Sure, I'm sure the Finland Switzerland game wasn't as full, but this game was packed. The bronze medal was packed. It's unfortunate that Czechia didn't actually come out with a medal. Would have been cool to see.
Close.
They were close.
They were close.
Finland just squeaks it out, but.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it was a really good crowd all around and great. Yeah, I mean, it was a good tournament. I think one thing about the tournament, like this was the first time I've really watched the tournament kind of full or through. I think this is by far the most games I've watched in a women's world championship. I feel like the coverage could have been. There wasn't given it's the best women's players in the world playing. I feel like we could have had better coverage. Not even sure, TSN they did an okay job, but even just the third parties, we didn't see much reporting.
It was only TSN, I think. I remember
there was one journalist for The Athletic and one journalist for Daily Faceoff.
Yeah,
but really, you didn't even see. I didn't really see much from either of those guys either. You didn't really see anything at all. So hopefully in the future we can get more coverage.
I mean, you can think about it this way. I remember turned on the ESPN broadcast because mine wasn't doing, my TSN wasn't really working for me. And it was literally just TSN.
Yeah, it was.
ESPN.
Yeah, that's what it was.
The second biggest country or in hockey, well, I guess they won. So literally, if you want to say they literally just won the world championship, the USA didn't have their own media team out there to cover it at all. And that is, I don't know, that's kind of sad.
I
if
think
you want to grow the game, you got to have coverage
TSN,
out there, especially USA.
TSN, I believe they didn't really have. I mean, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there wasn't really a bias towards Canada. Really, like you said, there was an American player on the analysis team, right? So
yeah, did a really
it wasn't. Yeah, they did a good job to appeal to America, and I'm sure, there was other countries that had their own. They had their own team out there, like the IIHF. They have their own streaming service now, and I believe you can watch, you could watch those games in your own language for certain countries, like Czechia. I'm sure you could watch it in whatever language they're using. So in that aspect, I guess it's growing internationally, but really we didn't. The most coverage we saw was that overtime, and that was really it.
Yeah.
It would have been nice if there was somebody I could follow along with every single game on Twitter or something.
Exactly. I remember checking as soon as that play happened with Laura Stacey, the goalie.
Yeah, it took me.
I remember it was I need to see some I just want to see people's reaction on Twitter.
Yeah. There was, I went to Twitter, there was some there was a decent amount of people reacting, but no actual journalist or reporter really had a reaction to it. And like when I found the clip, I found it on RDS, like the TSN French version.
Yes.
TSN didn't
Yes.
even post it themselves. So I just
It's
thought
terrible.
I thought that was odd as well. Like, why am
Yeah.
I watching this on the French site? But really, do you have any final thoughts on this tournament? MPP got the most valuable player of the entire tournament. I mean,
As she should. As
Yeah.
she should.
she deserved it. I mean,
I'll give it a quick.
Jen Gardner could have gotten it as well but I wouldn't. I'm surprised an American player didn't get it, but whatever.
I mean, but she led the team. She led the tournament scoring.
Yeah, that's
MVP.
true.
So like, and that
She is
top
the
line
best
was
player
just
in
so
the world.
dominant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that top line was just so dominant. So it's kind of hard to. Anyways, I'll give a quick shout out to Emily Clark in the final game. She had 2 assists, and I thought she was buzzing out there. She was she really surprised me with how quick she was. She kind of like the way she picked up speed and then the way she controlled the puck is somebody maybe I didn't know much about going into the tournament, but I really like the way. I just want to give a quick shout out to her. I thought she played really good in the championship game. She obviously got 2 apples, so
There you go.
so give a quick shout out to her.
No, I also, even though she didn't show up in the score sheet much, Renata Fast had another strong tournament.
Absolutely, yes.
Something I'd like to see more is Sarah Nurse. She didn't really stand out that much. 2 goals, I think, but on that second line, I mean,
Yeah.
she wasn't popping out as much as the other 2 players. Sarah
No.
Fillier caught my eye a couple more times, but Sarah Nurse didn't see her much. But
No.
We'll see.
Yeah, she played a decent amount of minutes. She played 20
Yeah.
in total
Yeah.
in the championship game. I can agree with that though.
Mhm.
She's got a big size. She's got a big body, so.
but yeah,
Also, I want to give it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll give another quick shout out to Blair Turnbull. I thought Turnbull was really good. She is another person who has a big body, and the way she just grinds down opponents and gets net front is really good. I don't know. I really liked. I thought I heard her name like every shift she was out there multiple times, just making an impact. I really like Turnbull's game, so I want to give her a shout out too. I thought she had like, this is not just for the championship game. This is for the whole entire tournament.
Yeah.
I thought she played great. So.
Yeah, I mean, just not a great way to go out. Pretty depressing
No.
way. But hey, you know what? We've got the rivalry. Are they doing the rivalry series again? Or is it just going to
I
be the
assume so.
Olympics? There's no world
Oh.
championships. It's just the Olympics next year. There's no world
Yeah.
championships. I don't know if they do that. I don't know.
That's
I
a
would-
good question. I mean, like maybe like to like a
Maybe.
warm up
I don't know.
for the.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But that's a cool thing, I guess, is that we'll see them back in the Olympics and whatever.
Yeah, this was a good
Yeah.
good little test for the Olympics. So we know what we got to do now,
Yeah, we got some questions to be answered by this
right?
time
Like
next year. So, or
yeah,
what,
like I
10
think
months?
like yeah about that. Like
Yeah.
people like I don't think so. Like Sophie Jakes or Chloe Primarino didn't touch the ice for any of
No.
overtime. I don't even think much of the third period either, if
No.
any of the third period.
Primarino was on the ice for, was it the third goal or the second goal? But
I just
think
had
it
it
was-
up. I lost her.
I don't know if she assisted on it, but she was on the ice. I noticed that. But she didn't really stand out the entire tournament. We're
No,
curious,
she's so
right?
young.
Yeah.
She's so young.
She'll be on the team again, I'm sure. Like she
What about
wasn't
next year?
Yeah, she wasn't like-
Olympics.
yeah, she'll be on the team next year.
You think
She-
so?
I think
Oh,
so.
excuse me.
She didn't stand out, but she also wasn't like a sore, Like she wasn't. She had the one
Yeah.
interesting play against the U.S. in the first game, but I feel like that's not enough to get you off the team. So,
Yeah.
oh well.
Yeah. You know what? Good tournament. MPP led it in points with 12 points, and shout out to the newcomer Jennifer Gardner who led the tournament in plus minus.
Yeah.
As well
Good for
as
her.
shooting in goals. She also led the tournament in goals with 6.
There you go.
And for the assists, how about Renata Fast and MPP leading the tournament in assists as well? So Canada dominating the top stats.
There you
And of course, we also have the person with the most penalty minutes. Do you want to guess who that is? And she won that. Wow, she won
Laura
this.
Stacy.
No, it's not.
I don't
So
know.
somehow Daryl Watts had
Oh.
25 pims. She had 25 pims, and second only has 10. She doubled second.
Interesting. Huh.
Very interesting. So I don't know how that happens, but that means Canada most goals, most assists,
Yeah.
most points, most pims, and most plus minus. So
There you go.
I don't know how. Yeah,
I don't know.
5 pims.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. Well, Jake, we're gonna quickly do some U18 talk as Canada plays on Thursday, but the tournament starts on Wednesday, which is today as this comes out. Really, we still, as of today, which is Monday, April 21st, we do not have the actual official roster. We only have the pre-camp roster, which is 18 skaters and 2 goalies. So I believe they'll have to pick up another goalie or something like that, and they'll have to pick up a couple more skaters. But tournament is down in Texas, which is quite interesting.
Yes.
I believe they hosted it. I believe Texas hosted it in 2021 as well. I just never thought that Texas would be a U18 spot. But
Shout out Texas.
Shout out Texas. Really, just looking at this pre-roster, really the first person that pops out to me is Jack Ivankovic, as he was on the World Juniors team, and he got one game, and of course he played that infamous Canada-Latvia game. Oh boy, he was
great game.
Yeah, it was a great game. Somebody was in the building for that one.
I was in the building. Oh God, it was history for sure. It was cool to witness history for sure.
Yes. Oh no, I loved it. I loved watching it on TV.
know you
I
did.
was hyped. I was buzzing.
So was the entire building.
Yeah. It
but-
was something.
It was interesting. But yes, you're right. Ivan Kovic is the only player on here who played at the World Juniors.
Plays for
but
Brampton.
there's a
Plays for Brampton right now.
ton. He does play for Brampton right now. But they're eliminated from the playoffs, so that's why he's here, right?
Yeah, sorry.
This team could be really good if we had people in the playoffs. Like Gavin McKenna could play on this team, but
of course,
or Landon Dupont, he could play on this team.
Both busy right now, but yeah.
And so that's why you have some studs. There's a lot of really good players in there. Ryan Rubrick.
There's a ton of OHLers.
Yeah,
Tons of
Ryan.
OHLers.
There's a lot of good players. Like Ryan Rubrick will be a top pick next year. Brady Wasilin, he's another huge pick. There's a lot of Niagara boys, and Niagara has a young team, and they're pretty good. Ethan Cesada, he's also really good. I'm really excited for this team. Like, as a big OHL fan, there's a lot of names I recognize on here that are going to do big things. And after a little searching, Canada has already played a pre-tournament game.
They played Germany,
and they actually played today against Sweden.
There you go. Score prediction.
I might. Okay, for Sweden.
Yeah.
Sweden's always a good team, so I would like to see their roster too. Like, I would want to know. Is Anton Frondell
blind score prediction right now?
Blind score prediction 5-3 Canada.
Okay, I'll go 3-1 Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can take a peek at this Canada-Germany game. I mean, it's hard to take away from it given we won 12-4, but
yeah. And well, look at this. Like, as I was just saying, Ethan Cesada that led the team 3 points. And then there's Ryan Rubrick, also had 3 points. And then Xander Villeneuve also had 3 points. So there's a lot of good players on this team who are not going to probably be – they're on this year's draft. They're all in next year's draft, except for Ivan Kovic, who is in this year's draft.
There's a few 07s, quite a few 08s.
Brandon Cote, he's another really good player. I forget if his draft year is this year or next year. But this team is filled with a lot of studs who are going to go very high in the draft.
Yeah.
At least like first or second round. So Cote is the captain of the Seattle Thunderbirds in the WHL. Is it his draft year? I'm not sure. I want to say it is. I want to say this guy was in consideration for the World Juniors team.
I think it is his draft year. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say
he's an 07, so.
Yeah,
it's obviously split, but I think so.
Yeah, then I think it would be his draft year.
I don't know. I mean, it's strong. It looks like a strong team. I don't know junior as well as you would, but
Very good team.
like some names pop out to me, and man, I think they're probably destined to go finish top 3.
Yeah.
Where did they finish last year? They didn't come.
Oh, I do not know that off the top of my head. Like so many good players. Cameron Schmidt, is another really good player.
They.
Oh my gosh, this team is gonna be insane.
Oh, Gavin McKenna was on the team last year.
There you go. It's because he's still in the playoffs right now.
James Haggins was on the USA team. Yeah, USA came first.
Haggins is on this year's team.
Yeah, Canada came. I think it was USA first, Canada second, or is this World Junior? No, this is. Huh. Oh, here we go. Canada won. Canada won 6-4 over USA.
Okay.
They beat Sweden in the semis and Latvia in the quarters. They would have came. I would assume they would have came first in their prelims then too. But yeah, I mean, not really for the U18s unless you have some final thoughts. That's really all I can take away from this. I'm going to be excited to watch some of these games, and of course, we'll do our best and cover on Instagram. If you haven't yet, check out our Instagram. We successfully covered the entire Canada's team for the Women's Worlds. That was quite fun. We'll do our best to do. This will be a little tougher, I think, because it'll be even less coverage. But we'll do our best to get some stuff out for you. But yeah, do you have any final thoughts on this U18s before we quickly do a producer pick?
Not really. Looking at the group stage right now, looks like it could be a walk. They play Slovakia and they play Latvia.
Finland. Finland's the only team.
Finland. Yeah, I
Slovakia,
don't really know.
I guess, could be interesting.
I don't really know what Finland's what their development.
I think it's
for
on
U18.
I think their development's on the up, and same with Slovakia. Okay. Slovakia, I think, has one of the top. But is it really gonna? One of the top countries that are developing really well right now.
It's true, but I don't know. I just can't see them beating this team. This team is really good.
Not. There's no way. There should be no excuse for this team. So.
Maybe the U.S. The U.S. team does look pretty good. Okay. They have their national team is pretty good.
Okay. Well, you know what? That would be very interesting.
Yep.
Assuming both teams finish top in the prelims, we won't see USA until the finals, unless we meet.
Mm-hmm.
Unless one of us comes second in the prelims.
Don't count out Sweden, man.
No,
Sweden's also another really good team.
Yeah, I guess it'll be.
Sweden always performs really well in the U18s.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. We're back with a second edition of Producers Picks, and of course, once again, we have no clue what our producer is going to be given a list of today, but I'm excited, and she's finally on. We are now on Zoom and online again, so she's not really producing, but she's here for Producers Picks, of course. And Raina, do you want to hit us with the list?
So our list today has a long title. We are ranking the past 5 World Junior tournaments hosted in Canada by the city and venues.
So we need to pull up the...
Wow.
You might have to pull up pictures.
Say that 5 times fast. That's insane.
World champion.
Yeah.
World Junior locations.
In Canada.
And venues. In Canada. The past 5 hosted in Canada, and I've only ever been to 3 of the 9 venues on the list, so keep that in mind. Pictures. Okay, number 5 is 21-22 in Edmonton because it only had the one venue. They obviously had to do the tournament twice. It was COVID times, and what the heck did I write? My thing says weirdly shaded arena, but I think I meant shaped arena. If you look at a picture of Rogers place,
it was dark. I know.
No, that's not.
Is that what you mean? Like shaded?
No,
it was. I believe it. I believe it was the entire all the seats were darkened out.
No, that's not what I meant at all. I meant shaped. I looked at a picture of it from the outside, and
it's not
weird.
like a.
Do you see? Okay, look it up. Just look it up.
Okay, wait. This tournament was also played in wait. Okay,
I
maybe
feel
I'm
like, was
tripping.
it not
I
Red
thought it
Deer?
was yes, I was searching that up. I literally just searched
It
it up,
does
but
feel
no,
like
I
Red
on the
Deer
wiki
was
on it
involved.
is. Well, it was, but it just said that there was only like I just went on the Wikipedia and it says because I remembered it's also Red Deer, but it said they only played in Rogers Place. So
Maybe,
Yes,
well,
I
it
don't
was
know.
COVID as well, and I
and that's
know
probably why.
the one year for sure it was only in one building. I know
Yeah,
that.
Which
and
is
then
weird. I
but
think is
it's what they.
weird.
There was a whole pandemic.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, no, no,
that's
I
what. Yeah.
know. I just mean
I
like
think,
I don't
and
know.
then
Anyways, like it
20,
What if
kind
it
of
was?
COVID kind
2020,
of screwed them over.
2027, it's
So
in Calgary and Edmonton, I believe, in 2027. So
Are we considering the cool factor that everybody lived in Edmonton near the arena? Like
yeah,
that's pretty cool. Like, do you know
in a
how pleasant
bubble.
that place would be? Yeah, in the bubble.
yeah, that's
The
true. That
bubble.
is cool.
The bubble would be buzzing.
All right, number 4.
Sorry.
Okay, number 4, is 2025 in Ottawa.
Okay.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's great in the nation's capital. The arenas were super close together, both in Ottawa, but people do complain that the
It
Canadian
wasn't-
Tire Center.
It,
What?
the arenas were very super close together, but it wasn't very super close to the actual capital of Canada.
TD
Well,
Place.
the TD place is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
TD Place.
TD
Yeah,
place
sorry.
is-
Well, Canadian Tire Center was not,
I
and
haven't
still
finished.
is not.
Okay. Well, I was literally about to get to that. I was saying, so people complain that Canadian Tire Center is like on the outskirts of Ottawa. It's not in the city center, but TD Place is, and I really like the TD Place, but obviously Canada didn't play there. Yeah, I don't know. I've been to both because I've grown up in the area, but yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. You know, it was my first time going to TD Place for the tournament, and it's a nice venue. It was a very nice venue. Yeah, I can agree with that. But the CTC is very outside, like very far away from the center, and like
Yeah.
there's nothing special about the CTC either.
No.
It's just kind of an arena.
But I think, like, compared to some of the other ones that we'll get on this, like, list, it is nice that the arenas are probably, like, what, half an hour apart.
True. This is true. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, my next one, do you guys have anything else to say?
I don't. I think I'd switch Edmonton and Ottawa though.
You'd put Ottawa at the very... Okay. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's
Next.
it.
Yeah.
I think I messed this up choosing this to rank because this is too hard. Maybe you guys have nothing to say.
No, I'll keep going.
Okay, so this one kind of hurts me a little bit, but a few factors played into why this is so low. So, in third place, I have 2017 in Montreal and Toronto, and I will give my reasons.
Okay.
Bell Center is like awesome. It's the second largest hockey arena in the world, I think, and this was hosted in the two like biggest cities in Canada, which is also great. But they're over 5.5 hours apart from each other, which I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter if you're not going to both places, but they're nowhere near each other.
No.
Yeah.
It's a plane ride away.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they like both arenas would have, and both cities have like a great atmosphere.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
both great cities, so like that part of me wishes that they were higher, but it was the distance. I mean, I love Montreal,
Okay.
and we live in Toronto, but
Do you not think it's good that like
I think
different
it's
cities could go to the World Juniors? Like in
yeah,
Ottawa,
I think it's cooler.
yeah,
I mean, I get your, I
Like,
totally get your
and
reasoning
like
though,
the
but
the building would be like if they had Canada playing Toronto and USA playing Montreal or the flip flop, it would still be a great atmosphere. Whatever place USA is playing in would still be packed. I would
Yeah.
think, right? How far is Montreal from the States? Can't be that far. And then Toronto's
get
not
to
that
it
far
far.
either.
Toronto would definitely be
no,
closer to the
Toronto's
States.
yeah.
So, I mean, I would probably put a third or second maybe. I don't know enough about the one location.
Okay, so it looks like Canada and the U.S. were actually in the same group this year.
Oh wow, okay,
So and they played all their games in Toronto.
interesting.
And so Montreal had Sweden, Denmark, Czech, Switzerland, and Finland.
Okay,
And they had a
but you know
huge
what?
arena for
Montreal's
that.
Montreal's a hockey city, so I'm sure that
And
place was packed.
I even got some numbers. KLBB dead wrong. Bell Center, 4,500, 4,700, 4,600, 4,700, 5,600,
I was
45.
And
right.
the
9,000. 9,000 was the highest for
Yeah,
Sweden, Finland.
and the capacity of that arena is 21,000,
Yeah,
just
so
over that.
Okay.
only about 1/3.
Where was
And
the
it's a
finals?
super-
Where were the finals hosted? Was it Toronto?
I'm gonna guess Toronto. I'll confirm that though. But
It would make
wait.
sense if Canada would have
Wait.
moved.
So that quarters were played 2 in Toronto, 2 in Montreal. Canada played their quarterfinal game in Montreal. Semis, both in Montreal. Finals, both in Montreal. So Canada,
wow.
USA
Okay,
did play in Montreal, and that was the only
Bounces
sellout
out.
during the entire tournament.
Okay, that makes okay. I guess that was what 2017. So, I mean, whatever.
So that's good. They still balanced it out.
There you
Yes.
go. Well, number 2, it's down to Halifax and Moncton and Vancouver and Victoria.
Yeah, so number 2, I went 2023 Halifax and Moncton. I know. I said out east is a major hockey vibe, and the one arena in Halifax is close to the water, which is awesome. And I just said the vibes are great out there for hockey, but they do have they're smaller areas and the arenas are smaller.
They're very small.
So yeah, the what I found is Scotiabank Center in Halifax is 10,500
That's sick.
people,
Makes sense.
and in Moncton it's 8,800.
They're both arenas for Quebec major junior teams, so they're not very big. But I mean, I guess we're not factoring atmosphere.
No,
but
we're not. But that was the best atmosphere out of any of them.
For
sure. Oh,
I agree.
100%.
Yeah, no,
it was
I agree.
packed.
I was
It
gonna
didn't
say-
matter. It was like a sellout almost every game. Didn't matter
I
who was
totally
playing.
agree.
It was
That's
insane.
That's because we all know how fast Raina already said it, but they're so passionate out there for hockey, and they don't have any NHL team close to them. So
But that's
Well, yeah.
but we weren't factoring in.
No, we're not.
No,
Sorry.
we're
yeah.
So
not.
that's why
We're
that's
not.
why it's 2. But I do agree that
Okay.
I love Halifax
So-
is a great city.
I think it's a
but
great place to have
Is
it.
Moncton a great city?
I don't know. I'm going this summer.
So,
There you
what makes Vancouver and Victoria the top one?
Because it's beautiful. Just look at the pictures. Look at the pictures. Look at the pictures of the arena. It's literally beautiful. And I mean,
BC plays? BC plays?
Yeah. No, what's it called?
Or oh my gosh, it's not even called BC.
Rogers Center in Vancouver and Save on Foods Memorial Center in Victoria.
Wow.
I just I don't know. I just think out west is crazy.
Well, I mean, the one
If
thing
you look
about
at the pictures, it looks nice. I've never been, obviously. But.
we're not factoring in atmosphere, but there's a lot of needles out there that builds the atmosphere.
Okay, well, I mean,
It doesn't snow. Doesn't snow much. Only rains.
Okay. You know what? Fun fact about Victoria, BC. Tyson Barrie is from Victoria, BC.
Also,
Actually,
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I
Jordy
was
Ben?
quite surprised.
Jamie Benn? Sorry, go ahead.
Thanks, Cal.
No problem. No problem, man.
Well, I'm fixing my camera. Okay. I was actually very shocked to find out that I found out the other day Victoria actually doesn't have as big as a population than I once thought. It's under 100,000 people in Victoria, BC. So I think it's kind of crazy.
I think
don't know,
people
maybe-
in BC would take the trip out there.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. But it's kind of like its own little island. It's on an island. It's on the island. I don't know. It's kind of hard to get to. Even I know Seattle is also right there. People from Seattle could make the trip up, and that's also a very good thing. Because people in Seattle love sports. I don't know. It's kind of isolated from everything.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, it's on.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think this one's also
It's a
kind of
good list.
influenced by my dream to go out there. But like if you look at pictures of Rogers Arena on the inside, like it kind of looks super sick. And if you look at the Save on Foods Memorial Center in Victoria, it's like kind of opposite vibe. Like it looks older and stuff, but it also looks very, very cool.
Interesting.
I don't know if you are looking at pictures or not, but
I'm just looking at their Wikipedia page.
oh, you should look at the pictures.
I am. I'm looking at a bus right now.
Well, okay.
Wow, I mean, I guess, pretty good list. I think I'd just switch, for my list, I'd switch Ottawa and Edmonton. But other than that, like, I mean, I'd have to think about the Vancouver, Victoria, and Halifax Moncton pick one more time, but I could be on board with it. Nick Pavetta is born in Victoria as well.
Okay, thank you.
What?
Nothing. It's just a fun fact about red people.
Hmm?
Nothing.
Well,
We're
guys,
not even talking about people.
well, guys, another day, another episode. Once again, we're going to apologize that the audio quality and probably the quality of this episode is going to be poor. But you know what? We wanted to get out our feelings, our sad feelings about the gold medal loss that occurred on Sunday. But really, I think that's it from us today. Good producers picks once again. I'm excited for next week's producers picks. Any final thoughts, Jake? Or producer?
Producer, if you want to go first, it's all you.
Okay, Jake.
No. Oh.
Oh. Wait, no. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say? Go.
I was just gonna say next week I'll make my list better. Sorry for the rant.
No, that's a good list. It was interesting. That's the whole point about producers picks.
All right.
All right, Jake.
No really final thoughts. Apologies for no hype this week. Not feeling very good. But, you know, it is what it is. Women's World Championship is what it is. Can't do anything about it.
No.
Jocelyn the Rock hit the road.
Oh no.
I'm just kidding. No. But it was a very good turnover.
Cut that out.
But it's
It was
okay.
bad. That's not getting cut out. And
Yep.
yeah, see you guys next week. Peace out.
See ya.
Bye.